Hey everyone, Gorzik here. Welcome to another bonus episode of Let's Play Ys I Chronicles Plus for the PC. In the second episode, I finished exploring the shrine, so this bonus episode will also cover events during or around that same time frame. So, let's get right to it. The first of these events is actually a hint from Fina about where and how to use the Mask of Eyes. You have to tell her that you'll come back later to receive this hint. She says that she is oddly familiar with this shrine, and that the lower levels might contain secrets. These secrets are invisible to the naked eye, though, and so she gives us the Mask of Eyes. So that is your hint on how to know there is a hidden passage somewhere in here. Like I mentioned in the main episode, you can spot that wall with the faint door outline, but it's pretty obscure, real hard to see, and so having this hint really helps. But unfortunately, if you tell Fina, you'll help her right away. Excuse me. If you tell Fina, you'll help her right away, she doesn't give you this hint. However, you do get a hint in the form of the mask's item description. Hides enemies but reveals secrets. So, yeah. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to now rescue Fina, and I will still get bonus experience for this. The only way you don't get bonus experience is if you rescue Fina after defeating the second boss in the shrine and grabbing the book of Ys down there. It doesn't matter that I've told her that I'd come back for her later, so long as you come back before finding the book of Ys down here, you'll still get bonus experience. So let's take her with us. And the reason I want to do this, there's a few reasons. The first of these is I am going to have Fina help us fight the monsters. Yes, you can do that. The way to do this is to have bought a mirror in Manea beforehand. You need to do this before starting the escort mission, otherwise you cannot return to Manea to buy one once the mission is started. Because by the time you get back to Manea, you'll already have dropped Fina off in Zepik. The easiest way to buy a mirror is to sell the necklace we find down in the shrine. Mirrors again cost 500 gold, or 1000 gold if you're playing the Eternal version. By the way, Fina gave us a Mask of Eyes already. The chest is empty. So, why do we need the mirror? Well, Fina cannot attack enemies off-center like we can. She needs to walk into the enemies herself. Obviously, this poses a bit of a problem because when the enemies touch her, she receives damage. But with the mirror, we can freeze them, and suddenly she is able to damage them instead. However, take a look at her stats. 17 health, 7 strength and defense. She is pretty weak. So, provided you're not too over-leveled, you will need to whittle down the enemy's HP. Fortunately, I'm still at a reasonable level. I can attack this guy a few times, but you may need to switch to the short sword, or you may even need to unequip a weapon altogether. Because if you just try to let Fina kill the enemy on her own, it's a pretty slow process. So, let's try this guy. And I will let Fina take it from here. I think I can do one more hit. Yeah, okay. So, I am going to push Fina into the enemy. That's the easiest way to do it. You can have her walk around enemies Like, you need to maneuver around them. I'll show it off here. First, I should point out that killing one enemy gets Fina her first level up. However, if you look at her stats, she's still level 1. This does get you an achievement if you're playing the Chronicles Plus version of the game. That achievement is called Forever Level 1 to me because the game's bugged. Even though she levels up, she's still listed as level 1. We can get her another level by killing another 3 enemies. And this can be kind of tricky to do. The mirror, when you buy it, or when you find one in a chest, which is rare, you randomly have 3 to 5 uses before it breaks. As you can see in the description, it says it will break with overuse. It's random how many uses you get out of it, and so we need 4 enemies to level up Fina again. 4 total, I mean. 1 for the first level and 3 for the second. So let's have her do this one. This enemy. Yeah, pushing her into the enemies allows her hits to land a lot faster. Because if we maneuver around the enemies, I don't know if she killed that one. If you maneuver around the enemy and let Fina walk into it on her own, then she gets knocked back just like we sometimes do, and makes the whole thing a lot slower. Is there an enemy over here? I think there is. Well, let's just kill this one again. Before I do that, this is what happens if you try to take Fina exploring deeper into the shrine with you. Battle would never place Fina in danger. Never mind the fact that we're actually having her help us kill enemies. It's too dangerous for her. So this enemy should level her up. Okay. So that's as far as she can get leveled. 27 maximum health, 13 strength, and her defense never changes. There is a minor glitch you can do to enter Manea during the middle of the escort mission. It's pretty hard to pull off, but if you do that, you can buy more mirrors, but it doesn't matter. She's not programmed to level up any further, despite the rather huge health bar that could potentially be filled up all the way, but yeah. Oh, I should point out, Fina is wearing a golden pendant. This won't come into play in Ys 1, but we will see it again in Ys 2. Okay, so there's a couple other things we can do. See this corridor here? Yeah. Oh, no you don't. We can push Fina in there. This is kind of perverted, but push her in there. I saved my game because I want to load it real quick. Push her to the end, and you get this little cutscene. Yep, battle's groping her. So, notice anything different? Next to her level, we suddenly are able to see her measurements. Her height, I think the B stands for breasts, W for waist, and H for hips. I might be wrong on that. I believe those values are in centimeters as well. But yeah, pushing her in this corridor allows you to learn her measurements. Now, if that wasn't creepy enough, you can actually do this when wearing the Mask of Ys. So, here's that cutscene. Yeah, so Adel has a mask on, he's doing this. Fina's obviously not in the best state of mind after being in prison for so long, and Adel's just abusing her, making her fight enemies too. Man, what a jerk. I do believe that her measurements are actually different in another version of the game. I can't remember which version offhand. I want to say it's the Eternal version, but it might also be that that they changed the measurements when Xseed localized the game from Japanese to English. I don't remember which one has the different measurements, but for some reason they are different in another version, so that's kinda weird. Anyways, we will now take Fina out of the shrine, but we will not take her to Zepik. We are going to take her to the Thieves' Den. Doing that has a couple of interesting interactions. She should be far enough away. Yeah, it's she needs to be a certain distance away for her to follow along. I've kind of memorized how close she needs to be. So right here, Fina has actually lost sight of us. You can do this like just by ducking around the corner, and when she loses sight of you, she has some dialogue. It's kind of random what she says. She has a few different things she can say. She tends to repeat herself though. I don't know if she'll say everything in a timely manner or not. Yep, so she believes we'll be back. Oh. Even though we've abandoned her temporarily, she still has faith in us. There's a couple different things she can say still. Let's see if she says them or not. Yeah, I guess not. She wonders where we are, but she still has faith that we will return. So, just kind of a mean thing to do, or it just happens automatically if she's too far away and she gets left behind on the previous screen. I didn't get to show it there, but when you kill these enemies on the bridge, like oh, here we go. I don't know if you could see that, but the enemies' remains, they usually scatter all over the ground, but when you kill them on the bridge, their remains actually fall down the chasm and into the crater there. So that's a pretty neat side effect, I think. Oh, no you don't. Whew, they are sneaky. Well, let's enter the Thieves' Den. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, crap. Yeah, he's not serious. So, it seems that the thieves are honorable in their own way, fortunately for us. Still, this is clearly not Adel's best decision. Let's see what Goban has to say. Yes, he makes this comment. Gemma is his grandma. So that's pretty interesting. And if you remember, Gemma is Sara's aunt. So not only is Goban related to Gemma, he's related to Sara as well. Yeah, Adel, what the hell were you doing here with the thieves? Take her someplace safe. If we go up here, we get this cutscene. She is terrified to follow us. So, if you talk to a couple of villagers, they mention Darm Towers this way, that the Thieves' Den was built between Darm Tower for some reason or other. This doorway here leads there. We'll explore there later in the game. But yes, for some reason, Fina is really terrified of this place. Why would that be? Okay, that's all I have. That's all I can do with Fina, I believe. So I'm going to load another file. This file has already returned Fina to Zepik. And the reason I want to do this is because these events will not play when Fina's here. So the first of these events is I'm going to choose the negotiate option. I have the silver bell in my inventory, but I haven't returned it to Zepik's mayor yet. So we found this in the shrine, so it seems like the thieves didn't steal it after all. Let's apologize to him. See, I told you we were innocent. So we tell him it was hidden down in the shrine. And this comment here, the monsters don't have the brains for something like this. No doubt it was him being the man in the black cape. Now, if you remember, Fina said that the man in the black cape seemed to be controlling the movements of the monsters. So this comment seems to verify that. I also have the Mask of Eyes in my inventory. He makes a comment about this as well. So yeah, yet another hint on how to use it. Okay, I am going to load another file. This file has already returned Fina to Zepik, but it hasn't finished up the shrine yet. So let's tell Sara of what happened. Nope, not yet. So it seems that she knows something about what's going on. She may even know who Fina is. If you remember, Fina has lost her memory, doesn't know why she was locked up down there. Sounds like Sara might know that. But she says to get the book at Ys first. So you can start to get an idea of why she was murdered. Okay, as I said, I have already rescued Fina. And I mentioned this in the main episode, but after rescuing Fina, we can go to Port Barbado and get a free Tower from Sloth. So let's go do that. Now, it doesn't matter that I didn't get the free short sword from him. This event will still activate anyways. And actually, before I do that, the NPC's dialogue has changed here in Zepic. I think it's after you talk to Sara, after she tells you to seek out the books at Ys. Not really too much interest, but this guy makes a comment on the shrine. A row of goddess statues. But that the shrine is awfully cramped inside. So that's your hint about that there's more to the shrine than you may initially think if you don't have Sara's crystal with you. Okay, let's talk to Sloth. He's actually giving us this dialogue here because even though I talked to him in the beginning of the game, I never told him that I was going to explore Asteria and try to figure out what's happening for myself. You would only tell him that after you talk to everyone and you speak to him. Basically, when you do the short sword event, you'll tell him all that, but since I never did that in the main playthrough, he's given me this dialogue here. So we update him on what's been going on. And I think this is a comment about video games. So he's going to take us to the armory, which up until this point has been locked. I love how he just slams the door in your face though. What a jerk. Anyways, he gives us this sword, the Tower. This is the 3rd level sword. It is somewhat helpful for the rest of the shrine and also the start of the mine, but excuse me, it is quickly outclassed. Once you get to exploring the mine, you find some stuff that enables you to get the 4th level sword, so I don't really care to do it most of the time. But if you want to kill the enemies in the shrine easier, by all means, visit here and talk to Sloth. He says he found it from a trade ship that was destroyed by the storm wall. And if you want to, we can actually show this off to the weapons dealer in Minea. He makes a comment on it, and before I do that, actually no I can't. Okay. Let's show it off to the weapons dealer. I think I need to have it equipped. There we go. So he recognizes it. He asks where we found it, and Sloth rather, told us that he found it washed up from a trade ship. If you attempt to buy it from him earlier, which I will show off right now actually, he mentions that his shipment washed ashore, or that it was lost or something like that. So this file here, it's already beaten both shrine bosses. It's already collected the Book of Ys. We found out Sara was murdered, but I don't have the Tower. If you try to buy the Tower from him at any point, he tells you it's out of stock. His shipment washed ashore, so there's delays. After you beat the boss, the giant centipede boss in the shrine, talk to him again, and he will say that the Tower is back in stock. He'll only tell you this if you tried to buy it beforehand, but that's another way you can get the Tower. Obviously it's better to get a free one from Sloth, but if you would rather purchase one instead, you are able to do that. It does cost you 5,000 gold though, so not worth it in my opinion. What was I going to say? Oh yes, there is another place you can get a Tower later in the game. But for right now, that's the only ways you can get one if you really want one. Next I will load up, well no, this file's already good enough. So I have the silver shield. I found it in the shrine. This armor dealer actually makes a comment on it. If you talk to him, he says it will be afforded some measure of divine protection, because there is apparently some writing inscribed on it, and that's what it says. If you look at the item's description, yeah, it's inscribed with protective blessings. Speaking of the silver shield, remember the guy in the clinic said he was robbed, had it stolen from his home? Yeah, this silver shield is his, so let's talk to him about it. He recognizes it. We tell him where we found it. And he says, well, you can keep it. You're getting more use out of it. Says it feels like he's been holding on to it just so he could give it to us anyway, so it's nice of him. Was that all? Yeah, I think that's all I have for this episode. Next episode we will explore the mine, but for now, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.